Good day everyone, we are Group 1 and we will be discussing the media and information sources. Pero bago tayo mag-start sa ating lesson ay balikan muna natin yung nakaraang lesson. Let's answer this picture. Ang choices lamang po natin ay print media, broadcast media, and online media. Okay, number 1. Ano po yung nakikita nyo sa picture? Ang sasagot nyo lamang po ay print media, broadcast media, and online media. Kung ang sagot nyo ay print media, ay tama po kayo. Number 2. Kung ang sagot niyo naman po ay online media, ay tama din po kayo. Number 3. Kung ang sagot niyo po ay broadcast media, ay tama po kayo. Now, magtungo naman po tayo sa ating lesson na tatalakayin. Ang topic po natin ay media and information sources. Types of information sources. Number 1. Your information needs to dictate your choice of media and information sources. Yung dito daw, yung kailangan mo lang impormasyon, yung pupuntahan mong media. Hindi yung gusto mong sagutin yung gantong tanong o trip mo lang sagutin yung ganong tanong, doon ka na pupunta na media. Hindi ganon. Dapat kung ano lang yung kailangan mong impormasyon, doon ka lang pupunta na media. Number 2, source are not all the same and are not created equally. Dito naman ay ang mga source daw natin ay hindi pare-parehas. Pwedeng binanggit na sa isa pa rin, pero may pagkakaiba sila. Yung isa detalyado, yung isa naman ay papyaw lang. Depende pa rin sa source na kukunin natin. Number 3, judging the value of information is not easy, it seems. Hindi madaling i-judge kung accurate ba yung isang source o information. Number 4, information is processed and refined. Dito yung mga totoo, yung katotohanan na, yung valid na yung information na kinukuha natin. Nasala na siya bago mapunta sa atin. Information can come from visually anywhere. Pwedeng sa media, blogs, personal experience, books, journal, and magazine articles, expert opinion, and web page. And the types of information you need will change depending on the question you are trying to answer. Nakadepende sa kailangan nating impormasyon ang magiging media natin. Hindi dahil sa gusto mong masagot yung isang question, okay lang ba sa'yo na sa newspaper ka lang titingin, sa social media ka lang titingin? Mali yun. So nakadepende pa rin sa question natin kung saan tayo pupuntang media or ano ang dapat nating maging impormasyon.
What is indigenous? Indigenous refers to something that is native, local, or originating naturally in a particular region or locality. It describes things that have developed or existed within a specific geographic area, as opposed to being introduced or imported from elsewhere. And what is indigenous knowledge? Indigenous knowledge refers to local, traditional understanding and practices developed by indigenous communities over generations. It is an unconventional source of information, typically relayed through people-to-people interactions in indigenous medias like stories, art, and rituals, rather than formal academic channels.
Indigenous knowledge. Indigenous media is the use of modern media techniques by indigenous people, also called fourth-world peoples. Indigenous media helps communities in their fight against cultural extinction, economic and ecological decline, and forced displacement. Is a local knowledge. Local knowledge generally refers to knowledge system embedded in the cultural tradition of regional indigenous or local communities. Knowledge that is unique to a given culture or society. refers to the unique knowledge restricted to a distinct group of people, culture, or society. Most often is not a written down. Indigenous knowledge is the oral tradition of communication, and it can also store the information in memory. Information exchange is face to face, and lastly is information are contained within the border of community.
A culture values and beliefs reside in the story it tells. Sa pamamagitan ng pagkikwento natin, naipapasa natin ang mga tradisyon, kultura, paniniwala natin sa mga susunod pang generation. This language meanings are specific and local which make their communities closely knit. They store information in human memories. Ang mga tradisyon natin ay nananatili at patuloy nating pagyayamanin sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalaganap natin sa patuloy na pamana ng ating mga ninuno sa pagpapapasa sa mga susunod na generation.
Indigenous communication is local communication that is unique to a given culture of society which existed before the arrival of modern mass media, which is a formally organized bureaucratic system of communication. This indigenous communication system still exists today despite changes brought by technology. Indigenous communication is a credible and acceptable source of information among the rural population. The terms indigenous is often interchangeably used with terms like traditional or local. Give example of folk media as puppet show, storytelling, interpersonal communication, village meetings, community tea houses, open market conversation, and so on. Indigenous media may be defined as form of media expression conceptualized, produced, and circulated by indigenous peoples around the globe as vehicles of communication, including cultural preservation, cultural and artistic expression, political self-determination, and cultural sovereignty. Indigenous media overlap with and are on spectrum with other types of minority-produced media, and quite often they share a kinship regarding many philosophical and political motivations.
What is indigenous media? Indigenous media refers to the various forms of media, such as radio, television, print, and digital, that are created, controlled, and directed by indigenous peoples. Forms of indigenous media: folk or traditional media. This encompasses indigenous art forms, storytelling, music, dance, and other cultural practices used to communicate and preserve knowledge. Gatherings and social organizations. Indigenous communities use communal events, meetings, and social structures to share information, transmit cultural traditions, and discuss issues. Direct observation. Indigenous knowledge is often gained through experiential learning, hands-on activities, and close observation of the natural world. Records. Indigenous communities maintain records of their histories, practices, and knowledge through written documents, carvings, and oral histories. And oral instruction, the passing down of knowledge, skills, and tradition through verbal teaching, mentorship, and intergenerational sharing.
Indigenous media, this is also known as community media. Any form of media that is created and controlled by the community, for the community, about the community, and by the community. The media of communication owned and operated by the indigenous people which transmit information about rural development. It includes drama, storytelling, songs, folklore, poets, proverb, and theater performers.
Kapihan or coffee shops to meet and chats with their friends to share stories. Sa kapihan nangyayari yung mga meeting and kwentuhan yung barkada. Balitaktakan, discussion or defense to problem solution in community. Halimbawa, nag-aaway kami ng kapatid ko, tas nagsasagutan na kami. Darating yung magulang namin. Siyempre yung magulang namin, kakausapin kami para ma-solve yung problema naming dalawa. Kwentong barbero. Nakikinig ka lang sa mga kwento ng mga nagugupit sa inyo. Halimbawa, ginugupitan ka, tas pinagugupit dito, yung mga barbero nagkikwentuhan, tas yung kwento na yun, maipapasa mo pa sa iba. Group chat. Group chat is a visual platform where a number of users exchange information and communicate in real time. Over time, communicates have become less closely knit and their members less dependent on one another. The definition of community has expanded in include people outside in local area.
Printing press means equipment used to apply words, pictures, and graphic designs to either a continuous substrate or a sheet. A continuous substrate consists of paper, plastic, or other materials that is unwood from a roll passed through coating or ink applicators and any associated drying areas. A press includes all coating and ink applicators, including applicators which apply coating uniformly across the substrate and drying areas between unwind and final drying of a continuous substrate. A sheet consists of paper, plastic, or other materials that is conveyed through the process. A library is a collection of sources of information and similar resources made accessibly to a defined community for reference or borrowing. It provides physical or digital access to materials and may be physical building or room or a virtual space or both. A library's collection can include books, periodicals, newspaper, manuscripts, films, maps, print, document, CDs, videotapes, DVDs, e-books, audiobooks, and other formats.
What is library? Libraries are the best source for academic information because their collections are carefully curated and vetted for accuracy, reliability, and relevance. Unlike the open internet, library resources have gone through rigorous editorial and peer review processes, ensuring high-quality information for scholarly use. Librarians also provide expert guide to help researchers find the most credible sources.
4 types of library: academic library, public library, special library, and national library. Sa academic library, word pa lang na academic means school, college, university. Public library serves sites and town of all types. Special library are special environments such as hospital, corporation, museum, military, private business, and government. Halimbawa nga dito, yung militar, yung library ng militar ay para sa kanila lang. Sa hospital naman ay para dun sa mga nurse, doctor lang. National Library, dito yung mga information ng country natin. Information for the country. Yung academic library daw ay may 3 types. Academic library serves more especially the student, researcher, scholars, teacher, and staff of the academic institution. Yung 3 nitong types ay yun nga yung school library, college library, university library. Pag sinabi nating school, library, ito yung mga books na nasa school. Sa college naman, yan sa mga college. Ang sabi nga nila, sa college daw, pag alang library, may puno ka na walang ugat. Tapos sa university naman, normal lang na may library dito, talagang may library.
Native, local, originating, or produced naturally in a particular region, locality. According to Stanley Baran, the usual business of television is dominated by a few centralized production, distribution, and decision-making organizations. These networks links affiliate for the purpose of delivering and selling viewers to advertisers. Mass media is your best source for news and current affairs. However, you have to ask yourself if that source is free of advertisements or political bias.
What is Internet? The Internet is a vast, global network that provides access to a huge variety of information from countless sources. Unlike information found in traditional, curated sources like books or newspapers, the information on the Internet is not centrally controlled or verified. Evaluating information found on the Internet. Authorship and publishing body. Determining the author of the content and the organization that publish it is crucial. Credible sources will clearly identify the author's credentials and the publisher's background and reputation. Accuracy and verifiability. Online information can vary greatly in accuracy and truthfulness. Look for content that cites credible sources and provides evidence to support its claims. Be wary of unsupported opinions presented as facts. And currency. Internet content can become outdated quickly. Check the publication or last update date to ensure the information is current and relevant.
Internet user. Dito daw sa Philippines, ang pinaka-edad na pinakamataas na gumagamit ng internet ay 18 to 24. Yun nga, yung percent na to ay 83% sa cellphone, 79% sa television, 31% sa radio, 13% sa personal computer.
Check the author, check the date of publication or of updates, check citations. The highlight of this mini project is to feature how information is received and transmitted or passed on to the members of your community. In an age in which the media broadcasts countless pieces of foolishness, the educated man is defined not by what he knows, but by what he does not know, by Nicolas Davila.
Evaluating information found on the internet. Number 1 is relevance. Relevance is simply the noun form of the adjective relevant, which means important to the matter at hand. Fairness. Fairness is the quality of making judgments that are free from discrimination, and it is just not one-sided. Number 3 is currency. The date information was published or produced tells how you current and it is how contemporaneous and it is a within topic you are searching. Number 4 is accuracy. The accuracy of information or measurements is their quality of being true or correct, even in small details. For number 5 is author. A person who writes a novel, poem, essay, etc. The composer of a literary work as distinguished from a compiler, translator, editor, or copyist. The literary production or productions of a writer to find the passage in an author. Next is timeline. A timeline is a visual representation of a chronological sequence of events along a drawn line that helps a viewer understand time relationships. The term can be used to refer to things in the past or future, or that are purely conceptual. Next, value. Value of information is a estimation of how much knowledge is worth in order to make a decision. It can be used to help make decisions that have varying degrees of uncertainty in order to help reduce that lack of confidence. Reliability. A reliable source is one that is well reasoned and based on strong evidence.
Thank you po sa pakikinig. Kami po muli ang Group 1. Ang topic po ulit namin ay Media and Information Sources. Sana po ay may natutunan kayo at sana po ay may masagot kayo sa quiz namin.